Alrighty, give me 2 seconds to get it set up on Facebook, and we're gonna be ready to rock and roll.
Wait, 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 wait. Wait, watch this. I'm trying to get on the camera. You go back.
Are we live?
Yeah, we live.
All right, we're live on one platform. We're about to go live on the next platform. Give us a minute.
Okay, Dad, you can share it now. Because I had to make it public. So if you want to share it on your page.
Okay, well, you see, got my phone, so I have to go on my. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna share it after the fact. I'll share it.
Okay, I
Okay.
got you. I got you. All right, you ready to rock and roll? You can go ahead, babe.
All right. So, first of all, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? And for the people who don't know Miss Brown, well, this whole interview is going to tell us about you. So, first of all, you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go into further details.
Okay. Um, I'm 14. My favorite color is rose gold. I like to read, draw, run track, and play soccer.
Awesome. And your name is?
Janessa Brown.
Okay. Can you say it again for the people in the back? Because they probably didn't hear you.
Janessa Brown.
All right. Y'all get to know that name.
That's right.
Okay. So,
Future Olympian.
how did you get involved in track and field, Miss Brown?
Before track and field that I started at 8, I I did gymnastics, I did karate, cheer, but they weren't really for me. So my dad introduced me to track, and as soon as I ran my first race, I fell in love with it.
Awesome. So you said your dad introduced you. So he was just like, "Hey, just come run with me for a little bit." What did he say? How did he get you to come out to track?
I think he showed me the sport, like what they did, and he did it too. So I just wanted to try it because it looked cool, and I just liked it ever since.
I got you. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people are mad that your dad made that decision to bring you out the track. Because you've been winning a lot of championships ever since then. So what was your first like events that you started doing when you first got started?
I was not doing long jump my first year, but I was doing the 100 and the 200, and I believe I was doing the 4x1.
Okay, okay. So do you think those other events the other sports that you were doing, the taekwondo, the karate, the gymnastics, you think those things gave you like, helped you out when you transitioned over to track?
Yeah, cause I like to try new things, so I was just like, oh, track, okay, let's try it.
I got you. I got you. So, what does a typical day of practice look like for Janessa Brown?
So school ends at 2:50. It's a 30-minute drive, so um I go from school and I go straight to the gym where I meet my dad, who's already working out when he gets off work. So
Okay.
from the gym, we go to the track. I drink my pre-workout and I have a snack before I run. I do my warm-up lap, I stretch, and then I start my workout. After the workout, we go to the gym and we head home.
Okay. Okay. So, do you practice? Because I know you sprint and you jump. Do you do like sprint practice one day, jump practice the other day, or you kind of just commingle everything since you're there at the track?
Yeah, usually our long jump day is the last day we work out before the meet. And usually on long jump day, we do like starts, like short starts, 30 meters, 40 meters.
Okay. So, do you think your sprint background helps you with jumps?
Yeah, I think it does because when I jump, I need the speed to get down the runway, and my acceleration, it helps me get up in the air.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this question because Carl Lewis said it, but I want to hear what you say, then I'll tell you what Carl Lewis said. What do you think's harder, running the 100 or long jumping?
I'll say long jumping because it takes a lot of technique. Like it's not just if you just jump, then you're gonna jump bad. Like you have to have technique. You have to be on the board. You have to get your steps. There's a lot of aspects to doing good in long jump, and it's not really just about speed. It's about power and height, and you have to do a lot of plyometrics to get ready for it and stuff.
Okay, I got you.
Wow.
Hey, you must have saw the same interview I saw with
That's a
Carl Lewis,
great
because that's
answer.
exactly what he said.
It's about
I never
power.
seen it
That's a
before.
great answer. That's a great answer. So many people think that field
You just run and
events,
jump. Yeah, they just think you just
field
run and
events
jump.
across the board, that it's easy. You just take an implement and you throw it. It's just sand. You just jumping in sand. They don't realize all of the intricate things that go into making an athlete successful in that particular sport. So I'm happy that you broke it down the way that you did break it down. You're absolutely right. It's definitely more difficult. So let me ask you, did you practice differently leading up to the Junior Olympics versus your other meets throughout the year?
Um, I would say my main goal this year was to win long jump because so many years I've been wanting to win long jump because it's my favorite event. So like it was really personal this year. So
Mm.
Yeah.
I think that my focusing too much on long jump and like kind of not enough on the sprints, you know, and it led me not to do so well.
It's
On
okay. It's
so
okay.
so when you say let's break, this is the time that I wish we would do a three-way call with Coach Nicole. What y'all call her?
Coach Cole.
Coach Cole. So I'm gonna ask you a question. When you say you didn't do so well, you didn't do so well based on everyone else's standards, or you didn't do so well based on your own standards?
My own standards, because I know if I would have put my best out there, I would have been top one, top two, like top three in both of my 100 and 200.
Okay.
And what does Dad say about this? Dad, we know we interviewing the child. Is Dad still there?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's ask Dad. If we ask Dad that same question, how does he think you performed for JOs? What is his answer
Um,
going to be?
for the long jump or for her sprints.
But for the sprints, the sprints that she didn't do as good as she thought she should do.
Well, we had a long conversation about that, and trying to break down the variables of what could have happened from the freezing rain that a lot of the girls were in. Her and Jasmine Jackson were the number 1 and 2 seeds, and in the 200 coming in off from the regionals with their times. I think they were both for like 20, 24, 4, 3, 24, 4, 6, 7, or something like that around there. So both of them were coming in, and both of them did the long jump. And then there was another mother that actually inboxed me and said her daughter did that long jump too, and she was like supposed to be, in the top, 5 or 6 or whatever going into the 200, and none of them performed well. So I'm not one to make excuses. I teach her excuses are monuments of nothing that build bridges that lead to nowhere, and those who use those tools with confidence to master nothingness. I'm sure you're familiar with that, Coach.
Mhm.
But I think it was a little bit of that. I don't think it was all of that. I think some of it was um, not doing as much endurance training towards JOs, and that's with the 400s, broken 400, different things that we work on to work on her
Right.
endurance, because she was so her number one goal was long jump, and
Right.
I think sometimes you can focus too much on one thing and not enough on the other, and when you're as talented as she is,
Right.
where she could have easily gotten a gold medal in either of those events. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I got
So,
Right. Right.
I think there was a pressure there, but her main focus was wanting to really focus on her long jump. And like I said before, it's all speculation,
Right.
that, that we didn't train as much endurance, and that kind of I'm looking at her one, not just her 200, but looking at her 100. Even if you go back into the flow track and you see her semifinal heat in the 200, she was coming around the curve, and she was ahead of Bella Marie Black. She was coming around the curve, and
Yeah,
first
she's
and she
doing what she's supposed to
just
do.
yeah, and then she just slowed down, and there were
Right.
and she ran, probably one of the worst 200s that she did this summer. But even in the 100-meter dash, she came out hard. She slipped a little bit, but she said still came out strong with her top end speed. So I think a lot of it had to do with just the training, that we didn't do that we should have done. And of course the freezing rain. A lot of parents are saying it was that, but I don't think that could have affected her like over the next 3 days. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Right,
I
right.
got you.
Well, like you mentioned, it could be a factor, but I would say this, that across the board at the age of 14, it's very difficult to find an athlete that executes in all areas. And even if you had put all of your practice into running,
Mm-hmm.
you could have showed up that day and still had the same type of day, because the one thing we are not is God, right? We don't know what would have happened, even if you had
Exactly.
put all of that, the same type of training into it. You could have walked into the track and ran into nerves. You never know what happens. This is what I will say though. You have to set personal goals for yourself. And this is the way that we set up with Savannah. We never set Savannah's goal at a place. You'll never hear a conversation of where we say Savannah, you and we off topic, but we're gonna get back on topic of where Savannah, you have to get first or second place. And we don't do that for any of the athletes. Because if you focus on getting first or second place, what happens when you find yourself in a situation where first or second place is lower than your PR?
Yeah, a lot.
So
Lower
now
sometimes.
you're not aiming towards your PR, you're aiming towards a place. So we always try to set a goal of a place. So for your next meet, once we go into the next season, each meet you go to, you set a time for your races, your ones, your twos, your fours. I'm not sure what all you specialize in running, because I'm Miss Field Events Matter. So I don't really know much about, the running side of the game, but I know a little bit about it, right? So you need to set your goal of what your time will be. But then when you come to jumping, then you set your goal of what you want your jumps to be. You and dad need to understand that you're already a phenomenon. You're already doing something that's out of this world. Why? Because you're showing up on both sides of track and field.
Facts.
You're not separating the two. You're not a beast in one and a not so much beast in the other. You've managed to accomplish success on both sides of track and field. That's already separating you from many other athletes. So no, I don't know your numbers as far as running.
Fast.
She's fast. Okay, I got it. So I don't know your numbers. My husband say you fast. Okay. So I don't know your numbers as far as running, because the truth is Coach David is the guru of numbers. But I will say this, for you to be interviewed, David don't interview anybody. He literally is very particular with who he interviews. So for you to be sitting here on an interview on a Field Events Matter platform with a runner's background, you got to be doing something right.
Nah, she's special. She's
Yeah,
special.
yeah.
And
You
we
got to
agree,
do something right.
and we agree with you guys wholeheartedly on the times, because that's exactly what she does before she goes
That's
in,
smart.
and we have a term that we call is you against you, and
That's
I
right.
always tell her, if you get beat, make sure the person beats you, you don't beat yourself. And
That's right.
so in saying that, of course, we go in with goals, and that we want, her goal, of course, in the long jump, I think the rain kind of stifled that. She wanted to break the record of 19.8, which I think she very well could have. She was
Right,
jumping
right.
from the top of the board. I don't know if you guys know, but they literally took well, obviously, I'm sure Coach knows, they took the board out because it was too wet. Or I don't know if you
Heard
had
that.
jumpers that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they took that board out, the 8-foot board. They had to do a tape. They had to put tape down on the track to make it a 4-foot jump. And so of course,
That's another lie.
that threw a lot of the kids off, and it took away from the spring, and things of that nature. But
Mhm,
I was
mhm.
proud of I was proud of her the way that she adjusted.
Right.
So she was freezing. She was texting me. She was like, "Dad, I'm cold." I saw her out there shaking, and like she said, she came in, number one ranked jumper. So 100 and something girls, and she's sitting in freezing rain waiting for her jump. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
a whole nother lie.
Yeah.
That's a
yeah,
whole nother lie.
but
That's something we're working on for next year, to either stagger the check-ins or have a cutoff where you just don't measure everybody, because
right.
some regions, they're not as dominant as others, and you have kids that everybody deserves it. You qualify, you qualify, but there
Yeah.
has to be some kind of standard when you get to that level of a meet, in
Right.
my opinion.
So to go back,
So
so to go back real quick, and I'm gonna get out our interview.
no, you good, you
That's
good, you
why I
good.
left. Look, I was in the room with my wife and my other dog. We was watching movies, right? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm gonna leave you alone. I ain't gonna
Well,
take over, And then
stay
so
nearby. Don't go
I
too
snuck back
far.
around here, and right around the time y'all said, "Is Dad still there?" And I had cracked the door. And she looked back. She
No,
was
you
like,
good.
"Yeah."
You
Don't
good,
go
coach.
too
But
You
far.
good.
Stay
but
right
so
there.
You
so
good.
Stay
but
right
so
there.
real quick, to piggyback what you're saying, Coach, which is so right, is about
Mhm.
the times. So that's exactly what you said about being disappointed with her one and two. And this is her speaking. She's like, Dad, if I would have ran my PR, I would have got second in 100.
Mm.
And the young lady, God bless her heart, she did a great job. But the time that she won in, Janessa won it in last year. You know what I mean? And I know she was capable of,
Yeah.
doing better. So she was looking at time. She wasn't looking
Yeah,
at the fact that she didn't make it to fight. She was like disappointed with her time because she
with
went
the
in there
time.
with a certain time goal on her mind. So we wholeheartedly agree that if somebody beats you, what I mean, you want them to beat you
Make sure
fair
they
and square.
beat
I
you.
mean,
Yep.
she
That's
ran
right.
against. I mean, we got Sarah. We in Georgia. We got Sarah Marshall, Melanie Doggett.
Yeah, I got some
Joan Holt
dogs in
comes
there.
up to all our meets up here. So she been running against monsters all year. You dig what
Yeah,
I'm
I got
Right,
saying?
some
right, right,
dogs,
right.
man. Y'all definitely got some dogs. But listen, echoing what my wife said, even to go through all of that you went through, because I take my hat off to all the athletes that Monday and that Tuesday, because that
Yes,
rain was ridiculous. We
yes.
got blessed. We got there Monday and it started raining for like 3 hours while we were competing.
Yeah,
But like 3 or 4 hours before we were there, it was pretty much like a hurricane. So to do what you did
yeah,
and to be able to compete, to be able to stay focused, and that's leading up to my next question. That's amazing.
yeah,
Because you got some adults that would have checked out. First raindrop, they would have checked out and they'd be like, oh my God. Then they move the board, steps all off. Now I gotta go get my
yeah,
steps back in order.
yeah,
What's going on, Jesus? But you was able to focus,
yeah,
stay locked in, and do what you need to do. On top of having to sit out there for an hour and watch everybody else jump. So
yeah.
that's a testament to itself. So what was your mindset during the competition? You at the hotel, you eat your breakfast, you ready to go, and then you like, man, it's raining. Maybe it'll start raining by the time the competition starts. You get to the track, it's still raining. Okay, Jesus, maybe it'll start raining by the time it's for me to jump, and it's still raining. So what's your mindset sitting under the tent and you like, okay, I gotta jump in the rain today?
Okay, so when I first got there, it was like light raining, so I thought it was gonna
Mhm.
stop. I was waiting for the first and second, third flight. I was the fourth flight, so we waited under the tent, and all of a sudden it starts sprinkling again. I'm like, oh no! And then it's it kept getting harder, and I was like, by the time the second flight or third flight came, it kind of
Mhm.
stopped, and then as soon as we were getting ready to jump, I'm just like,
Oh
okay. Um,
no.
and and we they were postponing it for like 5 minutes. It kind of slowed down, but then
Yeah.
as soon as we walked out there, it started pouring like crazy again. And I was like, oh, are they seriously gonna make us jump in this? So um, but my first thought was I'm freezing. And I cannot jump in freezing rain. But I
Mhm.
got that out of my mind because I was like, okay, if let the best jumper in the rain win. So I was
Mm.
like, I have to lock in, I have to do the best I can. I have to do the best that the weather gives me. I have to do the best of my ability. So I did my jumps in the final to get to the finals. My before the finals, my jumps they were okay, not good enough to win. I was going into the finals ranked second, and the girl that was in first had a 18 no 1710 I believe, and
Okay.
I had a 17.9 or
Okay,
17.4.
you're right
Yeah.
there.
17-4.
Oh yeah, 17.6 and 17.4. Sorry,
Okay,
and
okay. That's
and
what
I was
dads
like,
are for.
Yeah, dad like
They
me.
remember the stats.
Dad like me.
I just got back. I go check on the wife.
and I was just like, okay, I cannot let her beat me with a
Mm.
bad jump. And so,
Mhm, mhm.
because if I get beat, I want to get jumping my best. Like my
That's
best was
right.
I love it.
That's
19.4,
right.
I love it. I
and
love it.
And if I somehow jump my PR and she jumped better than that, then I got beat
She
fair and
just,
square.
she just got you.
And
She got you.
yeah, I didn't
That's
want to.
good.
I didn't want to get beat with a bad jump. So,
Come on, somebody.
um, my first two jumps to start the finals, they were iffy. You know, the girl was still in first, so I decided my last jump had to be, actually no, my second jump was an 18.6, and that got me in the lead. But the
Okay.
girl behind me, I didn't know what she was gonna jump, so I knew my last jump had to be really good because she can jump like, I don't
Yeah.
know, she could jump
Yep.
anything
Yeah.
Yep.
She can
and
top
then
out.
win and take it from me. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I need to lock in and jump further
When you
than
say
I've been
lock
jumping.
in, what is lock in? What is the process of locking in? Because you already have one mindset to get you to actually do the action of jumping.
Mhm.
Because that mindset had to come in for you to actually get up and do your first jump in the rain while you're cold. So that's one mindset. Boom, you get past that. Now you're jumping. Now you said I'm on my second to last jump.
Gotta go.
And now I need to lock in. What is locking in? What does that mean to you? What's the thought process of locking in?
Blocking out the crowd, trusting God, praying,
Mm.
ignoring the rain, acting like it's not there, and getting into my own space, quiet, focused, just everything's gone except me in the pit. Um,
Wow.
and I usually clap to get the crowd going so I can
Yeah.
jump
Little Tyler
further.
Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, that's my favorite long jumper right there. And
David always calls her our cousin.
Mine too.
He always says that's our cousin
Our
because her
last
last
name
name is
Davis. That
Davis.
is my cousin. No, that's my favorite jumper too.
I
yeah.
really like her cowboy hat, but we're not gonna talk about it right now. Okay.
But yeah, I clapped to get the crowd going, and my dad somehow got half the crowd to like do it, and so
Okay.
I was kind of excited about that. And my competitors were doing it also, so I was
Okay.
like, oh yeah. And then so I did my little rocking back and forth and stuff. I took off. Everything was blocked out. All I heard was, and so
Oh,
so so that I used that to motivate me towards jumping. So I literally gave that jump everything I had. I stretched out like as far as I could. And as soon as I saw the dent in the pit, and I was like, that has to be 19 something. And then I saw the board and it said 19 feet, and I was like screaming.
I love it. See, and this is why I love doing these interviews, because you get to, interact with the athlete,
right.
and you get to see what they're actually thinking. People
Yeah.
see you, they see you jump, they say, "Oh, she always do that. That's regular for her." But to see you say, "I had to lock in.
That's right.
I had to block out the crowd," because
Yeah.
you've been in field events for a while. It only take one jump
Mm-hmm.
for somebody else to pass you. So I got to get out there, because now I got to put the pressure on her.
Yeah.
When she see 19 feet on that board, she gonna be like, "I don't think I can do that."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Overcoming adversity.
it's a lot that goes into it, and I love it. I love the fact that the crowd was into it too, because a lot of times, that's why we made the field event matters, because you don't get the recognition they deserve, or one, people don't even see you at the track meet because you jumping behind a bleacher sometimes. So it's cool that people are able to witness that and able to interact and to celebrate that moment with you. So do you have any nerves before you compete? Or you just somebody, you just show up and I'm gonna just handle business today?
No, I always have nerves before every race. Some races worse than others because during Junior Olympics, when I'm in the finals, I like stop breathing. I have to remind myself to breathe, and I
Mhm.
pray so I can calm down and do good in the race.
Are your parents nervous before you compete?
Please, never.
Never. Listen,
Better
let me
I
let
be
me tell
nervous,
you.
man.
Let
I
me
don't let
tell you
nobody see
something.
it, but I be nervous.
Let me tell you something. This is the first year ever. So Savannah came in fourth place in discus and fourth place in shot put. She's usually one or two, but
We
she had a
know,
lot
we
of
know.
competition.
She a beast.
Yeah, so she had a lot of competition this year. And like Dad said, we ain't making no excuses. If people that watch her, they notice she had her wrists this year wrapped, and she also didn't do javelin. So she had a slight injury, with her wrist and her shoulder. We ain't put it out. We still let her compete up to her comfort level.
You show up. You gotta do what you gotta do.
And that's it. It was no excuses. You here, you're gonna wrap yourself, you're gonna go. Javelin, we're not gonna do. We're gonna put javelin aside. But this was the first year ever as parents together. Because normally I'm nervous alone. We were nervous together. Maybe your dad will understand. We were sitting watching the other kids like, oh Lord, is our baby gonna make top 8? Is she gonna make top 8?
We was over there counting kids in shop.
We was like, normally... we was like, okay, wait. So she could pass those 2, then we know she get in, at least number 6. That has never happened before. And we looked at each other and we said, we needed this moment. We needed the moment of realizing that nerves are real and that some parents actually have nerves the whole time. And it also reminded us that, wait a minute, sometimes our child may actually be nervous as well, because the hardest seat, whether people say it or not, is number 1.
Number 1.
That's the hardest seat to be in. That's the seat that everybody wants to be in. Until they get in it and they realize, oh snap, I can't chill here. I gotta keep going because people behind me.
Coach, would you say like in front, like I know, we have our nerves behind the scenes, but like in front of your, like, because I believe that the athlete will feed off of us.
Right.
Yeah.
I
don't.
So
I
like,
never heard
no, we
like,
never
like I
said,
right.
This is the first time.
Like, they never know. You're never nervous.
She don't even know that I'm nervous.
Right?
Because it depends on the meet you go. There's some meet you go to, your kid gonna win or they're gonna, do really good. But JOs are JOs.
Right.
Right. Even if you come in ranked number 1 at JOs,
you never know what'll happen.
You don't know what can happen. So I'm always a little nervous at JOs until the last throw.
Yeah. It only takes one throw. And that's why I'm happy Miss Brown had that mentality of, I have one more jump that I gotta pop out. Even though I just did great, I gotta pop out again.
Somebody coming behind me.
Because I have another jumper behind me. And sometimes children are not able to get that. They celebrate on jump number 2 of 3. No, you can't celebrate yet. You got to get through 3 of 3 before you can celebrate. And speaking about celebrating, we know what Savannah normally listens to, and some athletes normally listen to music. So that's our next question. Do you listen to music before competition? And if so, what type of music do you listen to? Who's your favorite artist right now? And if you don't listen to music before you compete, what is it that you do to get you into that space?
Yes, I listen to music before I compete. I like to listen to like Christian hip hop or rap music that is censored.
What's some Christian hip hop? You in our era? We know about Christian hip hop.
What's on the playlist?
Craze, Beethoven, Ty Tribbett, people like that.
Okay.
And
what you know about everything new? You don't know about everything new. I love that's my favorite song.
Everything new.
Daddy, they don't know about that, Daddy. They don't know about that's my favorite song. He's Ty Tribbett is a multi-generational artist.
Yeah. He's been out for a minute.
Yeah, good. That's a good playlist. So how do you motivate yourself? What he said?
Say it, Squeak.
No.
Only one night though.
That's her favorite
it's
song.
Only one night.
Only one jump. We got only one jump.
Hey, she can decide now. Do it, Squeak. She can do it. She don't want to do it.
You might. Okay, for the people that don't know about Ty Tribbett, we gonna put the link in here later. But you may have a bad meet, but it's only that one meet.
Only one meet.
You got a bad moment. It's only that one moment.
Don't let it linger over.
And I'm so happy that you listen to this type of music. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you need something that will feed you when you can't think to feed yourself. Not just physical food, but spiritual food. Amen. And what we listen to, it plays in our subconscious memory. Whether we want it to or not, it's constantly there. All you need to hear is just the beginning of a jingle, and the next thing you know, you singing the whole song. When we were younger, there was a coffee commercial, and somebody could just say, "The best part of waking up." We knew the rest. It's Folgers in your cup. Because it was in our subconscious memory, whether nobody wanted to memorize a coffee commercial song. It was just there. We just memorized it. So for you to memorize songs that feed you and songs that strengthen you, you already on another level. Because when you're not even thinking, you're still being fed, you're still growing, you're still getting better. So the music, even if you happen to go off grid and you get out of the type of music you listen to now, just never find yourself in a place listening to music that brings you down.
Somebody
You need
hold
to
my mule. We
stay.
about to have church up in here.
You need to stay on that motivational type of music. I really like it. Okay,
No,
go
you
David.
good.
Go.
You good. You good. Hey, listen, that's what we're here for. We're here to pour, encourage, and let the world know who Janessa Brown is for those who don't know. So,
She Miss
how do
Brown.
you motivate yourself? Like, because I know, because listen, I know people run away from track because track and field is hard. You know, track and field not like baseball.
Yep.
Well, you play soccer, so soccer's a little hard too, but it's not like the other sports. Like, how do you motivate yourself? Like every day, like, okay, I got to get up and go to practice. And you got a long season because your season go all the way to the end of July, August. So how do you motivate yourself every day to keep going, grinding, and getting better?
I pray for strength and the mentals that it takes to go through these workouts. I talk to myself when I'm getting tired, and I tell myself, "You're not tired. You're not tired. You got this." I remind myself where the hard work is going and where it's gonna get me in the future.
I love it. I love it. I
Awesome.
love it.
So, do you like competing in the morning or in the afternoon? And then also, what's your favorite state to compete in?
Definitely the afternoon or evening, like under the lights.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I like being under the lights, and I don't like waking up in the morning.
That's me.
And when
Most of you
I hate
guys don't.
when you see 8 o'clock. I'm like, why, Jesus? Like,
But
why?
it's like long jump's like one of the first events, so I have to get up early anyway.
Yep.
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 Facts.
And what's your favorite state?
Georgia.
Georgia. I feel you. I
You thought
understand.
she was gonna say something. It's Florida, Georgia, Texas. People always only go say they state. Like you ask us, it's Florida.
I don't know. It depends on if we're gonna make it a vacation trip.
Well, I don't know. I like going to Texas because when you win in Texas, you can talk trash.
Oh,
Texas
Texas
always
was
be
a good
selling out.
trip.
Texas, oh yeah, CJ on
Yeah,
that.
Texas by
Hey,
20.
Texas wasn't by 20 when we went
Hey,
out
you
there in
there next, hey, you
2021.
there next year.
You see them Texas hats up there. We
Listen.
went to Texas and had fun, CJ.
Texas. Let me tell you about Texas. So anybody that has seen us in real life knows David does more social media. I do it, but not as much as he does. But in real life, I'm one of the biggest mouths at the field. I'm saying big bro. I'm saying superstar. I'm saying they ain't ready. That's me. So when we
Dade County,
when
Dade
we went
County,
to
baby.
Texas, it was like, okay, we in a new place. We haven't really been here before.
Nah, we had a good time.
Savannah let off a bomb. It was a wrap. I was like, big bro, Savannah, it's here. The
Nah,
people were
Texas.
like, wait,
Nah, listen, respect. Our biggest competition
Yes,
is Texas.
Texas.
So,
Texas. When we
Texas gonna make you bring it. Texas gonna make you bring it in every event. Texas,
we have a little girl, Kyrie, that's from Texas.
Texas gonna make
We
you.
love Kyrie. She's from Texas, and trust me, Texas be throwing.
Texas gonna make you bring it.
Actually, the girl that beat me in 2022 and 2023 in long jump with the same jump, she's actually from Texas.
Texas gonna make you bring it.
Listen, Texas is gonna bring out the best of
this
you.
is what I always say about Texas. Texas always be saying we got all these athletes. Texas is the size of 8 states. So if you think about it, you should have all athletes. If you 8 states, Georgia and Florida not that big. So what Georgia and Florida able to do with the amount of athletes we have is amazing. Per capita, you put us against all the big states of Texas, California, we dominate them. But Texas do their thing. I ain't gonna be a hater. Texas do their thing.
We have
watching.
Go ahead.
No, I said there's some mad Texas people watching with that Nelly Olsen meme with that meme mug from Nelly Olsen from Little House on the Prairie. You ever seen that one?
Yes. So we have a question from the comment section. We're gonna bounce back and forth. We have a question from Kermit. Do you like to compete in the long jump before during, or after your running event?
Good question. Good question.
I
And his
definitely like to do it before my running events because it gets me warmed up for my running events. And as soon as I'm done with long jump, when I'm going into my sprints, I feel way loose, way more loose, way
Mhm.
faster
okay.
after a long jump.
Do you think it tires you out if you run before you jump or no?
Sometimes if the events are back to back, like if I have to run the 200 or if I'm doing long jump and I have to go run the 200, like if they're calling it right when I'm doing long jump and I have to
I
run the
hate that.
200 and then come right back, I'm definitely tired from that. But the conditioning I'm in, it helps, kind of,
I got you. Well,
yeah.
make sure you get your 10 minutes. You know that rule, right? They got to give you 10 minutes rest when you get back from whatever event you're running. Because
Yeah.
some of them officials, they be trying to go home. So don't let them rush
Ooh,
you.
you
Say, I got
already know.
10 minutes.
And you better take every 10 minutes. Now I have 5 seconds. You better take all of the 10
Tell them
minutes.
I got 10 minutes.
Look, CJ say he don't like our page no more. You can't do that, CJ. Once you with us, you stuck.
So,
You can't even get
so
jumped
nah,
out.
CJ got everything out there, man. He got 400 shot putters. CJ got a great team, man. So, what has been your favorite track and field moment so far?
Winning long jump.
This year or last year?
Yeah, this year.
This year. Okay,
Okay.
okay,
All
okay.
right, so now we finna set the record straight. Let's do it. What is your favorite event?
Long jump.
All day, baby. All day, baby.
So why is long jump your favorite over the 100 or the
Um,
200?
I like jumping in sand, um,
So you a jumper, you don't mind getting dirty because we have some jumpers they jump and they want to land standing up. It's like you got to get in the
yeah.
pit.
I just like leaping into sand and seeing how far I can go. It's really fun. It's way fun in
Well,
the sport
whoever
like
does
that.
your hair is smart because they keep it braided up. That was a good idea.
Yeah. I think
Nobody
it's.
wants to wash hair every night.
I think she, I think she mentioned too that because she's extremely strong. Like she's like like soccer. She's a monster in soccer too. She's just really
Yeah, I saw some
athletic.
of the highlights.
And I think for like she had mentioned we talked like with track. She's like I like she's like I love track. It's my favorite sport. And she's just like and I was like because I asked her the same thing. Like why long jump? But it's kind of shocked. Somebody like you said as fast as she is. You know what I mean? You would
Hmm.
think the field event may just be a secondary thing, because I see a lot of sprinters walking away from, long jump and stuff like that. I think I had put that on the page, but she had mentioned that, she uses her athleticism more so when she's doing the long jump. And, I told her, I said, and I know you guys know with field events, I said, you can't just be fast, you have to be athletic. And I
Yeah,
think with
Yeah,
the long jump, it really shows not just she's fast, but, the fact that she has to be strong, upper body, lower body, her
yeah,
core, you have to be coordinated, she
yeah.
has to pay attention and be focused, because
yeah.
I mean, there's so many kids that scratched, and you see that red flag going up. You know what I mean? Like,
It's
especially in
hard,
that
man.
rain.
It's not
Yeah.
easy.
So I think it's more challenging for her, and she's the type of child that likes a challenge, and
Right.
so I think that's I think that's why one reason too, from a coach standpoint, why she likes it so much.
I love it.
But
I love it.
college coaches gonna love you too because you gonna be scoring at regionals. You gonna be scoring at conference everywhere. They
Points,
go.
points, points. Like the Super Mario game, they have the little awards on their head. And when they see you, they just gonna see points, points. So listen, since we already know your favorite event, you own Field Events Matter, so it only made sense for your favorite event to be a field event. We ain't gonna tell nobody, but that only made sense, right? So now since we already know your favorite sport, your favorite event, what is your favorite medal that you've won thus far? It doesn't matter if it was this year or in previous
Yeah,
years.
and it don't have to be like a championship medal. Just it could be the design of the medal that you like.
Or a
So
day that you overcame something and
yeah.
you won that particular medal.
um, I think my favorite medal is like the speed capital medals that like spin inside, like spin. Like I can,
Oh, yeah, I got you. I got you.
I can show
Yeah,
you.
we. I'm
Oh, yeah.
still mad we missed that meet.
Put it up to
Yeah,
the camera. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
man. That's
that's the
beautiful.
championship one from 2 years ago.
yeah.
I think
I'm
I
still mad we missed that
I
meet.
could be wrong, but I think Speed Capital is undefeated. when it comes to
Definitely.
they might be, if we ask
They
like
might don't-
if
they-
we
yeah.
ask like 50 children, at least 48 of them are the speed capital medals are they top notch.
And they
Ridiculous.
got you didn't get to they got these here. If y'all get to the, I don't know if Luke bringing these back out. These are acrylic. I don't know if you can
Oh
see
man,
it.
those are nice. I saw those online, but they never
Yeah,
had
but
them.
look, but you got
Yeah,
to
they
look
chip though. Yeah, they
look
because it's like
closely.
real glass almost. So you
They
gotta be
actually
careful with them.
chip. If you cling them together, then they actually break off.
But those are pretty fire. Yeah, his the speed capital game is second to none. He made everybody else step their game up when it came to medals.
Yeah.
Because
What did Kermit
see
say?
you I don't know how long you've been running. I ran track back in 1995, 96. We got ribbons and the medals that before you get to the car they broke. Like
Exactly.
that's how people, my kids be like, show me your medals, daddy. Baby, those medals broke before 2001.
Right. So Kermit says that Caden prefers to performs better during or after running the 100 meter at local meets. He returns more loose and flexible. He has more of a bounce.
Yeah.
So
I guess it depends on because he's a beast too. He won. I think he got second this year, but he won the JO's last year in long jump. I think the 10
he's
U
a
11.
monster. Yeah, I met Kermit last year, and and so yeah, I've been following. His son is phenomenal.
Yeah, no, and he's fast too. Y'all about the same. He's out of St. Louis. He's fast too. So I think we know the answer to this question, but I'm still gonna ask it.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you look up? Well, we'll make it a two-part question. Who do you look up to? And also, who's your favorite athlete? It could be the same person, but I wanted to break it up.
I have a lot of favorite athletes, but my top three, number one's probably Sha'Carri Richardson, number two is probably Tara Davis, and number three is Noah Lyles.
Okay,
and that makes sense.
So
that makes
so
sense.
what makes them your favorite? Because they're definitely three of the most outspoken, flamboyant. They do what they got to do on the track, but they also do what they got to do off the track so they can get them them endorsement dollars. So what makes those three your favorite?
Sha'Carri, I like her style. I like how she acts. I like how she doesn't care about what anybody thinks of her. I love her confidence. I like how she tells other girls to be themselves. I like Tara because she jumps really far. I like her energy. She plays around a lot like me myself.
Right.
I think we would get along if we knew each other. She's really hyper. I like that.
Well, she's coaching at Kansas State now, so.
And Noah, I like how he's not like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna win. Like he's bold about it. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna win. I like how he's bold about it. I like how he's not scared of his opponents or anything. He just dominates in every race.
Did you watch the Netflix series Sprint?
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. He gets in the head like the kid from Great Britain. He's sitting there and it's like, do you think you'll break the record? And he's like, I don't know. And Noah's like, what's the record? He's like 19.8. He's like, bro, you can't run 19.8. Like looking at him like, come on, man.
Very confident. And to me, that's a good sign that you lean towards people who are very outspoken and they're also beasts in the game. Because
and they march to the beat of their own drum. They're not like robotic, like
right.
How most athletes are. They're robots and they all give the same answers when they talk to the media. It's like, man, come on, tell the truth.
Right.
Right. So
you can be that as long as you can keep up with it. Because when you got a mouth like those people, you gotta have some performance to come behind it. You can't be a Noah and talk big and then don't show up to perform.
Well, and I'll tell you this, because this is something I tell my kids, because my we got Savannah, my son, he plays baseball. And when you start posting things on social media, you open yourself up to criticism from a lot of different places. There's criticism and there's also, cheers. People happy for you, they celebrating you. And as people, sometimes you can have 99 people saying great job.
Yeah.
And you had that one person said that was a horrible jump.
Yep.
And our mindset forgets about the 99 and we see the one person that says that's a horrible jump. And you start, meddling on that and thinking about that. And I always tell my kids, because when people put stuff negative on TikTok or whatever, I always show my kids the comments. And then we go to their page. And I always tell them 9 times out of 10, the person that's telling you that, they can't even do anything close to what you're doing.
No.
So don't even worry about it.
No.
They just a little troll on the internet or on the keyboard or whatever. So don't focus on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, post your stuff, post things out there, but just know that there will be people that, because I know Noah, Shakari, and all them, they get some ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like water on a duck's back. You just got to let it roll off and keep doing what you're doing. As long as you know you're doing it for the right reasons and you're making a positive impact in society and you're doing everything you're supposed to do, don't even worry about it. Don't even focus on it. Just keep grinding and keep doing what you're doing and keep being who God called you to be.
That's right. That's right. So let's go to the next question. It says, I'm gonna mess this up because I can, right? All right, great. He said yes. He didn't say yes, but he said yes. Okay. So the question is, who has been your biggest inspiration? But I want to give you an opportunity. I think your dad said he was just over in the room with your mom a moment ago when he tried to book the interview with you. But don't worry, he's back now. So, so athletes sometimes don't have the opportunity to express to whomever is in their support system how much they appreciate their support. So you can have a biggest inspiration and you can give that, but I also want you to take this moment to tell your support system, mom, dad, cousin, sister, auntie, grandma, godmama, the neighbor down the street who got 2 pigs and 5 dogs. I want who, if they in your
George, but they got the country.
Okay, well, my family from Cairo, so they got pigs, hogs, dogs, and cows all together. Okay. Anyway, so listen, whoever is in your main circle, especially the ones that you sleep with at nighttime, if you can tell them something, what would you tell them when it comes to their support for you when you're in season and your appreciation?
I appreciate my dad for motivating me, keeping me on my toes, making me feel comfortable before I race. I think my mom and my grandma for making sure my food's ready, everything's in the cooler, everything's ready, make sure I don't forget anything because I'm known for that. But um but yeah, they help me stay together, make sure I got everything for the meet, and make sure my mind is ready for the race.
I love it.
That's awesome. And that's a big deal to thank mom. Somebody put in a group about thanking wives of coaches that people don't normally thank the coach's wife. They normally just thank the coach. But for you to thank your mom and your grandma, that means a lot because you said you might not remember everything, but you don't have to if you got them. The only thing you only need to remember 2 people, mom and grandma. If I remember them, then they gonna remember everything else I don't have. Another thing you said, which I don't think we asked you that question, but you mentioned your food, that your mom and your grandma make sure that you have your food. So what are you eating typically, especially in season, that allows you to compete the way that you compete on the track and on the field?
So I got sponsored with Solid Unit Meals. They provide like meals that have like 40 grams of protein or rice, broccoli, ground beef, or my favorites, the chicken Alfredo, protein spaghetti, stuff like that.
What's the name of this company again?
Solid Unit Meals. Solid.
Okay.
Meals. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
if people buy it, do you get like money? Does that work? Or you get like extra meals? How does that work?
Yeah, you get free food basically like every time, like for the week, like leading up to my meet.
So what we need you to do is, your dad is in the group. We need dad to tag David in a post.
Yeah,
we need you to tag the name of this company. Come on, somebody. We need you to tag the name of this company. I'm not sure if they ship or not. If they don't, that's fine. Whoever is local near you within the group, we need everybody to support this particular company because they've obviously done something right, because you've been able to compete the whole season. You've been in great shape and you're obviously bringing up good numbers. That's right. So it's something that they say what you get out is what you put in.
So buy the chicken Alfredo with Janessa face on it.
Yes.
You will jump 19
Yes. If you want to jump like Janessa, then you need to eat like Janessa.
That's what Wheaties do. I remember I bought a box of Wheaties with Jordan face on. I was like, Lord, I'm gonna play
But no, don't
basketball.
use that example because Wheaties not good.
And that's what I'm about to say. The Wheaties was terrible.
Okay. But
But
the
the
food
chicken,
not terrible.
no, we know it's not
Okay.
terrible.
Okay.
I actually want to try it. That's why I wanted your dad to put the link in there so we can get it from
Let's see if
Savannah.
they ship. Yeah. Let's see if they ship. And thank you so much for not keeping that secret, for sharing with us what the champion eats.
So
and thank you for, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
And thank you also for giving that appreciation to your mom, your dad, and your grandma, even though they may not tell you, or maybe they will at the end of the interview. For you to pause and mention them, that means a lot. It means a lot for them. They know that what they're doing is not in vain. So thank you for that. Next question.
Do you have a favorite quote or motto?
We usually, like, every year we have a different one. Like this year was trust the process.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. So did you trust it?
Yep.
Were there some days that you were like, Daddy, this is not working, but I'm gonna keep trusting you, but I don't see it working.
I mean, some days I felt like really. Some days I felt like really slow and sore, and I was like, "Uh-oh, am I getting slower or something?" But
Oh,
it was just that I needed rest. I was gonna be fine the day of the meet. It was just my body had to rest and recover, and I knew I was gonna be good today of the meet.
So how do you know to separate dad from coach? Like when do you know, when you're like, okay, he's coach right now, okay, he's dad right now. When does that kick, or is he always? Because I know in my house, like I'm pretty much always coach. I'm dad, but they know like I throw a workout in anytime, so
literally, they could be walking from the kitchen. Hey, while you walking from the kitchen, drop down, give me 20 push-ups. Yeah.
Sometimes it's kind of hard because I'm used to him being dad, and it's only been 2 years he's been coach and dad. So it's like, so some of the things he's saying I take personal because I'm just so used to him being dad and not coach. But when we go on the track, I know he's in coach mode, and but as soon as we get home, he transitions back to dad mode, and we're talking about normal stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I like that. I like that balance, and I like those boundaries, and I like that you recognize when I'm here, he has to be this person. But the children don't understand, and I hope you get this when I say it. You change too. You go from being daughter to athlete. So there's a dynamic there that he has to realize, okay, when I'm here, I'm with my daughter. And when I'm here, I'm with my athlete. And coach is going to push athlete in a certain way. Dad is going to push daughter in a certain way. So I'm happy that you understand the dynamic of when I'm at the field or when I'm in practice, this is just this coach being coach, but it don't mean that daddy love me any less. I'm happy you recognize that. So how do you balance school and track and field?
Yeah, we almost done. We got 2 more questions after that, or 3.
I get out at 2:50, so it's a 30-minute drive to the gym. So I try to do some in between there. And then after my workout, coming home, I do homework in between before I get home. And by the time I get home, I have little homework I need to do. So it works out.
Okay.
It works out.
I'm gonna let Savannah listen to that because Savannah takes a nap in between.
Yes,
school and
Savannah
practice.
takes a nap. She does
I
not
didn't
do
have that.
work. But she's only 11, so maybe she'll listen. So do you have any hobbies outside of track and field and soccer?
I like to
Like, no,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
my
draw.
life.
Draw. I like to draw in my free time when I'm, not doing anything.
Okay.
I like to read, check books from the library. I like to play my favorite songs and sing them very loudly, and play music very loudly. I like to go to the mall, and shop for things like perfume. I have a lot of perfume.
Perfume is an expensive hobby. Your daddy understand, baby. Perfume is. I have a few cents.
Very expensive hobby.
Yes.
But hey, as long as you keep jumping 19 feet, you'll get a sponsor pretty soon.
Right. So next question.
How did it feel when you won your first national championship versus how it felt when you won the latest one in long jump?
My first one, I never won one before, and I did not expect it,
You ain't never been to the finals before that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Praise the Lord.
The year before that, I was like in 22nd, like 15th.
Wow.
The only medal I had got that year was in long jump, and it wasn't even near first. So, but
Wow.
um,
so what happened?
but
God, Jesus picked you up when you hit the board.
yeah, it gave me wings.
Listen, it was a supernatural miracle. You can't even explain it.
After that, you was like, I might be good at this.
Yeah.
What
That's crazy. That's awesome.
when you're in the air off the board and you're before you land, is there any like what is that feeling of right off the board before you get to the actual pit? Do you
Um,
feel like you're like an astronaut? Like, are you in Mars? Do you feel like you have like no gravity? How do you feel?
I feel um like when I'm falling down, I feel like I'm falling out of like an airplane or something. Like I feel like I'm jumping up and I am an airplane, and then when I go down, I feel like I'm falling out the airplane and
That's
landing.
cool. That's dope.
You're
That's
landing.
dope. That's
Okay.
dope. That's
Okay.
dope.
I always thought about that with the triple jump as well. Because I feel like the triple jump is a tease. It's like bounce, bounce,
Yeah.
bounce. Now I'm a jump. Yeah, I always felt like, okay, this is like a tease mindset. You can ask the last question.
So, where do you see yourself in 4 years, Tallahassee? No, I'm just kidding. Where do you see yourself in 4 years, and what's your dream school?
Um, I see myself at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics,
Come on, somebody.
Okay.
and my dream school is UGA.
Oh,
You
Bulldog.
already knew she was gonna say that. I don't know
Look,
why he act like you wasn't gonna say
when I
that.
was at Florida State, I had a lot of friends from Georgia. You never know.
We knew she wasn't gonna say Georgia. We already knew, baby.
Not Georgia
But
Stack.
my backup is LSU.
LSU. Okay.
Okay.
Those two
Okay.
top programs. I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at
Okay.
that. But Miss Brown, we definitely thank you for spending the evening with us. I know right now you're doing soccer, so we wish you much success in soccer, much success in
Yeah.
your studies. And when track and
Yes.
field starts back up, hopefully we can see you in person at a meet. But we definitely wish you much success in all your future endeavors and everything else that you do.
Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for giving us this time on tonight. You did a great job. You had a
Yeah.
magnificent interview. You are full of color. You are definitely full of life. We enjoyed this interview. Thank you for being our season opener because now we open our season up to doing interviews.
Yeah.
So thank you for being our season opener. Thank you for
Thank
giving us
you.
this time. And your dad, thank you for being here and not jetting on us like you tried to earlier. Thank you for toughing it out, Dad. We appreciate you. And don't forget to please put the name of your sponsor. And if you have any other sponsors there, and if anything, this should make your sponsor smile because now you just put them on a platform that knew nothing about them because we've never heard of this company before. So you're doing what you're supposed to be doing as an ambassador to brand. Thank you so much for that. And then when you get an opportunity, make sure that you send me your playlist because I think I might like it.
Okay.
People in Georgia.
All right. Y'all have a good evening. Stay blessed.
Y'all have a good night.
Thank you.